So, legendary billionaire investor Warren Buffett recently designated that 90% of his estate should go to one boring investment when he passes away. What investment is that? The S&P 500. I recently had a subscriber ask me to explain this S&P 500 thing that I talk about and that she's heard about several times before, but she really wasn't clear on what exactly it is, so let's break it down. In this video, we're going to talk about what the S&P 500 is, why it's an important investing tool for you, and what kind of returns can we realistically expect from investing in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is an index which measures the 500 top companies in the American stock market. An S&P 500 index fund is basically just a vehicle for you to be able to invest in those top 500 companies all at once. So basically it makes it possible for you to invest $1 and still put it into the top 500 companies in America. One example of an S&P 500 index fund would be SPY, which was called a Spider S&P 500. And again, that's just a stock that you can buy, or an ETF, exchange traded fund, that allows you to invest that $1 or $100 or $1,000 into that top 500 companies so that it gets distributed among the top 500 companies in America. So the top holdings in the S&P 500 include companies like NVIDIA, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and others like Tesla or even Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. You might have noticed it's very tech heavy, so you do have to keep that in consideration when you're investing and whether or not that makes up a good balance for your portfolio. Now what that means is, since the S&P 500 is market cap weighted, it puts a little bit more of that money that you invested towards those higher market cap companies such as NVIDIA and or Apple or Microsoft. So most of your investment is going into those areas. You should just be aware of that. Now, even despite that heavy tech concentration, why do people still continue to suggest and advise folks to invest in it? Well, that's because over the long run, decades and decades, this investment has produced returns of steady average 10 to 11% returns. That's pretty solid for something that is very safe and diverse, even in tough markets. So how do you go about investing in the S&P 500 right now? I made another video on this for more information, but in summary, you can simply download and install Cash App, which is a very simple and straightforward tool which you can use for stock investing. Set it up with your bank account, deposit $1, go over to the stocks section and search for SPY or VOO. Those two are some of the most popular S&P 500 funds that you can invest in. You're able to invest fractional shares, which is just $1 worth, and that'll get you started. I myself only started investing in the S&P 500 just a few years ago in October of 2020 through Cash App, and I started with just $100. And at that time, the S&P 500 SPY fund that I bought was worth $346. Today, the value of the price of one share of SPY is $740. That's approximately double in around the last 5.5 years. To sum it all up, the S&P 500 is the best, simplest, most diverse way for you to invest your money and make the most of your investment, whether that be for the short term or the long term. Granted, all investing carries risk, so do your due diligence, do your own research, and follow me for more tips and advice. Thanks.